So Gen V Season 1 is done. The week prior to this was the penultimate episode 7 and the finale episode 8 just dropped. It's been quite a journey these past 6 weeks where I've expressed that although I think the show is solid, it was not on the same level as The Boys. The characters to me have a lot of on paper things that should make you feel, but I really didn't think they were all that compelling. You know, I still don't, but I was willing to continue watching to see if any of that would change. The show mid-season I felt did pick up, so after being excited to see how they would conclude everything this season with these last 2 episodes, I gotta say that was a mid-ass finale. I'm not trying to be frivolously disrespectful, but the finale ruined the season for me. That was an X-Men The Last Stand on CW ass ending. It just is what it is, players. I'm giving Gen V Season 1 a fluctuating 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I think most of the season was solid, but how they concluded the season was extremely subpar. I think it really regressed the season in my opinion. Like the finale was legit only 30 minutes long and it felt extremely rushed. I know I have players out there that are really enjoying the show, that are excited for season 2, and more power to you, so just bear with me and let me explain. So episode 7 is best surmised as the virus is shown to have been made successfully contagious by Cordova upon Indira's request, but because of some trepidation by him, she insinuates if shit turns sideways, she's just gonna blame him, so you know, stick with the program, mofo. And then we get a cameo from Mallory from The Boys meeting up with Indira talking about this virus. Mallory basically calls her insane, that she's genocidal, like, yo, we're supposed to be on the same team, like, what's going on? And meanwhile this is happening, Emma tries to have Sam hide out in her dorm to lay low, and you know, Sam goes benchwarmers mode and then finally ventures out of the dorm and meets other soups just like him and starts to feel kind of a part of something bigger than himself, a little bit of camaraderie I'm sure, and then pretty much gets radicalized going to this town hall Mr. Circumcision over here drags him to. Town hall was hosting Victoria Newman, another cameo from The Boys that comes to talk about soup rights, and that turns out to be a whole shit show, but the whole reason she's in the show is to reveal herself as Marie's benefactor, the one who helped her kind of get the push to get into Godolkin, and that she actually has the same power set as Marie. I thought she just had combustion powers, but it seems like she's a bloodbender too, and Marie lets her know about the virus, and so she decides to take care of it, meaning she meets up with Cordova. He gives her all that remains of the virus in hopes she'll bring Indira to justice, and then she just explodes his head, and in typical fashion, not in a good way, RIP Sigma Cordova. Polarity has some sort of attack and gets rushed to the hospital, so that preoccupies Andre for the rest of the episode, and the rest of the gang confronts Shetty, and her whole motivation was to kill all the soups in the world with this virus because of not only Homelander being responsible for her family's death on that plane from season 1, but that soups are inherently destructive, which I think everybody would agree with. The school, you know, is just a front to test soups really, and Kate forces Indira to kill herself by the end of the episode, kind of proving her point, but I mean, I do get it. She wanted to kill all the soups in the world. Obviously, you'd want to kill the person that's trying to kill you, but she goes on this crazy pro-soup kick, which Sam agrees with after, you know, getting radicalized. Going into episode 8, Kate and Sam are actually on the same team now, and their big plan is to free the people from the woods and destroy Godolkin, essentially. Now, they free like 5 mofos, 5 soups from the woods on a campus comprised of, I'd say, at least 90% soups, and these 5 mofos body just about everyone, which in my opinion is, well, stupid as fuck. You have a campus full of people with powers, you know, basically training to become superheroes, and nobody was able to beat any of these mofos, okay? And don't even get me started on the action in this episode. Between Andre's nutting face powers and then his fight with Sam was just abysmal. You have telekinesis, big bro, and you have that one soup that was strangling some chick, and then he gets halted because of the Sonics, but then he fucking pulls the reverse Uno card and screams, and it's like, not only did it look weird and just stupid as hell, I was like, this is all this mofo has? Like, he's a banshee? Like, get wannabe Homelander back, or fucking Iceman, and they could have taken care of any one of these soups, I felt. Don't get me started on the fake Sigma, worst teleporter in history. I feel like they should have collectively whooped all of these soups' ass pretty easily, so that's one of my biggest gripes. The VFX for all this stuff sucked, but especially when Marie is fighting Translucent's son was on some like 1,000 ways to die type shit. There was only really one dope shot that I found out of the whole episode when Marie does kind of embrace her powers and stops using her own blood but the blood of others to kill the fake Sigma. That was super dope. It looked super dynamic, and it was accompanied by my favorite line probably in the whole series by Bora. I'm gonna put that in my next movie. Like, the timing of it I thought was hilarious, but then Kate comes through trying to control Jordan, and it's like, yo Jordan, you can't see this bitch darting at you. And so Marie blows up her hand, and that was pretty intense. Before we do get to the very ending, we'll get into my favorite character being Emma, and earlier on in the episode trying to confront Sam and stop him from doing what he's doing, but Sam's grilling her about only wanting to be liked by everyone and that she's not a real hero. She would do anything for people to like her, and this cuts to the core of her to where she shrinks. And my theory is her powers are going to be revealed to not be predicated on food but on emotion, because Sam just made her feel small and so she shrunk. I think they are doing some good work with her character and her power set, things I actually really enjoyed as well, that I found it so unexpected when Homelander actually comes through. I was like, yo, he's in this? And it was just so exciting to see. Anthony Starr is just so good every time he is about to say anything. You just have so much anticipation because he's about to spit some fucking bars. The episode ends with Vought flipping the narrative and toting Sam and Kate as the new Guardians of Godolkin, and the gang actually being the ones who started this whole shit, and them all waking up in some undisclosed like white medical room, and it looks like they're in some type of Vought facility. But that's how it ends, with Butcher discovering the Woods facility. We got all the Boys universe cameos coming through, so although I really didn't like the finale, I think there was some good stuff in there, and I'd say definitely the cliffhangers were dope, and the whole spinning the events plot is good, but it just felt very lackluster. It felt like the mystery of the Woods wasn't all that mysterious or frightening or as big as it was let on to be. We know there are more facilities that house Soups, so this one didn't feel really all that special or different, but it all just felt very unsatisfying to me. Like, I didn't care about Sam and Luke, or Luke coming back in Sam's head, because we never really saw them together or saw any good moments of them being brothers. We barely even saw Luke. It might be cliche, but I feel like we needed like hella more flashbacks of these characters. I just didn't feel anything from most of them for most of the time, and I think the ramifications for the Boys universe is the most interesting thing, since I think the virus will be weaponized. I think Homelander will get it, but I think in order to get rid of it, he might opt to get depowered so it doesn't have any V to bind in his system, and then my dream to see a depowered Homelander would come to fruition. And you know, who knows how else this could play out. Again, I might hate the last episode, but I do think this show has some merit. It's just not that compelling, or as compelling as I feel it could be. Like, we either needed more flashbacks, or we could have concealed a bit more about the characters up front, just, you know, peeled back the onion and went about developing these characters in that way, or at least revealing who these characters were a little bit slower to build up anticipation. But who knows? Let me know what y'all thought of this season, if you're excited for season 2, whether you liked it or not. Any predictions for The Boys season 4? I would love to hear your guys' predictions. That's pretty much it, guys. If you like the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope all of you guys are well, and I will see you in the next one.